Hi Gareth, nice to see you.
Hi Anton.
Look, first off, obviously, just how important is this game, not just for obviously the club because of the rivalry, but because of what it means in the context of potentially going through in the competition?
Yeah, of course. I think it's a nice game for us to have with the situation in our own hands. You know, we know that we win the game, we know we progress. So, and the fact that we're home, I think, helps. Our home form has been in general this season pretty good. You know, more recently, we've been scoring, a lot of chances that we've been taking. So it's high scoring at home, especially. So it's a game we're looking forward to.
As a coach, is this the kind of game where you have a little bit of a conundrum? Because obviously, like you said, qualification's in your hands, and yet at the same time, this competition is quite often used to rotate. A lot of games coming up. So you're going to stick or twist with the team?
Well, we're here to win, so I think sometimes it's about creating as much rhythm as you can, and sometimes that is going with the same team. So for us, we are, players are training really hard, performing really well, whether that's from the start or whether it's from the sidelines. So I think for us, it's not, and we've never done this, we've never disrespected any competition that we've been in. Of course, we've rotated, but we rotate in the confidence that we have players who are more than capable of performing. So, we enjoy the competition. I think it's a good competition. The Continental Cup, I can imagine people probably place it as one of the lower trophies, but it's a trophy and it's one that we've been successful in and one that we want to win this season.
You're obviously playing Man United. They come into this game off the back of a disappointing result, not where they want to be in the table, and a lot of noise around sort of negativity around the club. Obviously, you've been there as a coach in a similar position. Do you have sympathy for Mark and what United are going through at the moment?
I don't like it, if I'm honest. I don't think it's right. I think we're all in situations where we've given it our best, and I think when you look at United and where they're at, I think fourth in the table. To have this level of scrutiny, I think, is really tough. They had a good season last year in terms of making the European qualifications. They got to a cup final as well. I think people think this job is easy, and it's not. It's really tough, and I think there's always different factors as to why you may be in a good place or maybe not so much be in a decent place. But I think Mark's a good guy, and I think he's trying his best, and the supporters need to get behind the team, and that includes him. And that's all we've ever asked for, as much as possible. And I think we have that here, thankfully. But we're not daft. We know that these things can happen. I just don't think it's helpful. I don't think it's a good look. And I think it'd be good if they could get behind everyone, because it makes such a difference.
Obviously, it's January. You've got rivals strengthening, spending quite a bit of money at the moment as well, some clubs. What's your club's January plans, and if you are looking to sign, are you making progress?
Well, we're always at the forefront of that in terms of we are really active in those conversations. That's not to mean that we will necessarily go out and bring in a couple of players in this window. I think we allowed Julie, obviously, to leave us, and I think that probably in a way was for many factors, really, and I think it also helps us a little bit with when we are turning to the bench. Obviously, we need to try and maintain our good levels of availability and fitness with the players that we have, and the team behind the team are doing great stuff in that space in keeping everybody fit and available to allow me to be able to play the best players as much as I possibly can. So I think we'll see. We'll never say never. I think we're really happy with the squad, though, and where we're at. I think we made a conscious decision in the summer to bring in Jill and continue with the group that we had, because we felt that there was more mileage in it, and I think so far this season they proved that.
Finally, Dana Castellanos obviously wasn't part of the weekend. Are we close to her leaving the club as well?
Well, no news as of yet. I think similar what we spoke of previously, where if there's any news to tell you guys about, that'll be the case. But of course, Dana's been a good player for us, and she continues to be a part of what we're doing. And when that changes, we'll let you guys know.
Thank you.
Cheers, Anton.
We'll go to Zoom now. Dan?
Hey, Gareth. Hope you're well.
Hi, Dan.
Just want to go back to that Old Trafford victory, because it felt like kind of that was a big moment for you in the season. So, yeah, kind of how much kind of confidence can you take from that?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, it feels a while ago, even though it wasn't, and I think it was obviously a big moment. There's no doubt about that, and I spoke about that at the time. That to go there and play with the identity that we showed. I think after a previous couple of disappointing results was, but not performances, just results, I think was really great. And I think we made a statement that evening, and we want to do the same again tomorrow. We're in a good place currently. We're providing a lot of opportunities at the top end, scoring goals and playing with confidence. And I think, of course, we're always looking to be the very best versions of ourselves. And I think tomorrow night's game is a funny kind of game for United because they're already through. They're already qualified, but of course they won't want to come here and not give a good account of themselves. They obviously potentially have one eye on their game at the weekend, but we don't. We are really focused on this game tomorrow night.
And when you look at United, where do you think they're kind of struggling at the moment, and where do you kind of think you can potentially exploit?
Well, it's always difficult when you lose good players. I think obviously Russo leaving was tough. They've been active in the market and brought in some players in it. We were the same. If I look back to our situation at the beginning of last season, we probably had similar amount of changes, maybe more, because it was quite extensive, the incomings and outgoings that we had at the time. And it just takes time to gel. There's been some positive signs there, I think. They've got some good players in there. They've got dangerous players that can cause problems who play on the world stage, So I think, you've just got to understand in this game that there's going to be bumps along the way, and I think that's when you find out more about yourself than anything, as a group, as individuals, as a coach yourself. And I think it's really about sticking to your beliefs of what you do and being relentless in that pursuit of trying to improve every single day. So, I think at the moment there's no probably real reason potentially why. I don't think their performances have been bad at all. I think they've been a little bit unfortunate. The game against Liverpool was close. The game at one point at the weekend against Chelsea was close. And obviously when we played them at Old Trafford, at one point we go behind. I felt we started the game really well and go behind, similar to here, Liverpool on Sunday. But what I loved about the team was the fact that we never changed our mentality at Old Trafford and also on Sunday here in the Joie Stadium. We kept doing the same things we always do and won the game really well on Sunday.